So we're now going to work a second mass percent problem. This one is going to be more difficult than the first problem we worked. Let's read our question. How many grams of water are needed to make a 5.00 sodium sulfide solution if I have 5.84 grams of sodium sulfide? So let's try that again. How many grams of water are needed to make a 5% sodium sulfide solution if I have 5.84 grams of sodium sulfide? So this is a mass percent problem. Let's review our formula for mass percent problems. The percentage equals grams of our solute over the grams of our solution. Grams of solute over grams of solution times 100. Now, one of the things we need to remember is that the grams of solution is the grams of solute plus solvent, because solute plus solvent together make up the solution. So let's plug in what we know. We have a 5% solution, so the percentage is known in this problem. So we have 5.00% equals. So this time we're not calculating the percent, it is given. However, we do have 5.84 grams of sodium sulfide, and we're asked to find the grams of water. So which one do you think is the solute and which one do you think is the solvent? If you guessed water is going to be the solvent, you are correct. Water is a liquid and it will be our solvent. The 5.84 grams of sodium sulfide, that is our solute. So it's the grams of solvent that we do not know. So back to our equation. We have grams of solute, that we know. That is 5.84 grams. This is over the grams of the solution total, which is the grams of the solute, 5.84, plus grams of the solvent. Grams of water is what we're finding. That is the solvent. It is our unknown. And I'm just going to use an X because that's commonly used as the unknown variable. And then times 100. So we are solving for X. First thing I'm going to do is get the 5.84 plus X factor out of the denominator by multiplying it on both sides. 5.84 plus X times 5 will equal 5.84 times 100. And so this has now been multiplied on both sides, and thus it cancels out because both sides were multiplied by that factor. And so I'm left with this. 5.84 plus X times 5 equals 5.84 times 100. At this point, I'm going to divide both sides by 5.00. So I'm left with 5.84 plus X equals 5.84 times 100 divided by 5. Because I divided by 5, that cancels out. And I'm left with the 5.84 plus X. So let's go ahead and multiply 5.84 times 100 divided by 5. And that will give me 5.84 plus X equals 5.84 times 100 divided by 5 equals. I get 116.8. Now I'm not rounding because I'm not at my final answer. So we never round until we reach our final answer. Now I need to solve for my x. So I can subtract 5.84 from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 5.84 and subtract 5.84. This will give me x equals. So I have 116.8 minus 5.84 equals 110.96. 110.96. Now I need to pay attention to my sig figs. Looking back at what I started with, I had 5.00 as my percent, 3 sig figs. I had 5.84 grams, which is 3 sig figs. So my final answer will be in 3 sig figs. So this will be 111 because now 9 rounds up. So 111. Don't forget the units. This is the grams of water. Grams of water. 111 grams of water is my final answer. Now to check this, we can plug it back in and make sure that it works. So again, we have 5% equals 5.84 over 5.84 plus 111 times 100, and those are in grams. So let's make sure we really do get a 5 here. 5.84 divided by parentheses 5.84 plus 111, close my parentheses, times 100, and I should get 5. And in fact, I get 4.9982, etc. 4.998 rounds to 5.00. So I did a check, and yes, I got 5.00 as my percentage. So I am finished. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Chemistry with Dr. Kim.